Well, we meet again. How's you doing? Charlie Greer podcast. Like, share, and subscribe. Comment. If you want to support this shit show, in the description, there's a Zelle info. And if I look haggard, I'm not feeling too good. I got some kind of I don't even know what it is, but I didn't even shoot one yesterday. But yeah, I kind of don't want to tell this one, but I've only told a few people because you sound crazy. But Dogman in Arcadia, California. Yeah, I saw this crazy, fake looking, smiling. Okay, so let's just dive on in. And I've seen a bunch of crazy shit, and I'm sure that I'll do like more stuff like in Arcadia. I saw like one or two other crazy things. But yeah, wasn't a werewolf because a werewolf is like scary looking. This thing was big, but it was I guess what you call a dogman. So lockdown had the lockdown, so we weren't allowed to, so it was the night that they opened everything up, and everybody in Arcadia kind of came out. And I lived near First Street. Now, First Street is the elementary school, which is beautiful. It's an old school, it's nice. And everybody was out, including me. So I had my dogs, and I'm walking, and people and their kids, and so I'm on the sidewalk in front of the junior high. And my dogs react, like pull me, right? So I look over, and then I kind of, on the side street, there's a car, and I see this furry, bubbling mass. That's all I can, it was just this big, furry, was round with, lumps. So, and I'm not the only one that saw it. This woman, she pulled out her phone, and there was people saw this. I've tried to track these people down, but they go Chinese, they speak Mandarin. I tried to talk to her after this happened, but she didn't understand English. Wouldn't show me the video. So yeah, I see this bubbling or bulging, furry with lumps. It's big. It's big. I mean, it's as tall as the car. I can see it. The cars are, it's beside this car. So my dogs kind of lunge this way. And while this is going on, they take off back. They want to get the hell. So I look, and when I look back, there's this thing. It was goofy looking, man. Its head was huge, as big, wide as its shoulders. And it wasn't that wide. And it looked stupid. It was smiling. It had this big grin on its face. It was kind of bobbing. Like, what the fuck am I looking at here? A row of teeth, white teeth. I just kind of stood there shocked, like, smile, like, I'm not shitting you. Huge. It looked stupid. It looked dumb. It looked like if I was going to draw, I mean, it just looked like a, I mean, it was scary because I didn't know what I was looking at, but it was, again, kind of thin. Its head didn't fit its body. In fact, its body and arms were kind of thin, and this huge, stupid-looking head with ears, I thought someone was fucking with me, man. Like, what the fuck is it? And then the dogs are like, whining, whatever. I look back down, come back up, it's gone. And then the lady that was filming, she's like, talking in Mandarin. And I'm like, hey, you filmed that? And she, and kind of walked off. And I saw people leaving. And the Chinese aren't really, sociable as far as if they don't know you, they're not going to. And I just got home and I thought, what are the odds of this happening the night that we're all let out? Basically we can go roam. And is this some kind of, I don't know, test or some kind. You've heard all this weird conspiracy shit. I don't know. Was it a hologram? Was it a I don't know. I mean, it's as fast as it left, there's no way it could have. I would have saw something, but it was a bulging, furry, hairy mass, about as big as a car, a little taller. And then it was next time I look back, it was just standing there, and it was probably around. It was tall. I'm figuring like maybe 8 feet. Taller than me. I'm 6'2", so maybe 9 feet. I don't know. It was maybe 50 yards away. Again, it was doing this bob, smiling. Like it wasn't like, no, it had a grin, like this huge grin on its face. Like, yeah. So I tucked tail and ran. I mean, I got home like, what the fuck? And I was like, dude, I'm not going to tell anybody that ever. Like people, I mean, they think I'm crazy already. So what the fuck? But I felt a little bit better that I know that other people, I mean, there's a lot of people out, man. There were people right near it that maybe didn't see it or they did see it. I don't know. But people, they were leaving. I'd have to say people had to see this. I know that a couple people around me saw it. The girl was filming it with her phone. Wonder what she did with that. Maybe I'll have to YouTube that. And I listen to, paranormal. I'm kind of a dumbass like that. I like listening to like UFOs and Skinwalker Ranch and Bigfoot and Dogman and whatever, cryptids. I know, right? But hey, that's what I like. It ain't like I'm a devotee or anything, but I mean, I listen to other stuff too, or watch. But I love a good, like, shitty even Bigfoot documentary. So yeah, this Dogman, whatever it was, and somehow it seemed female. I don't know. I just got the vibe that it was a woman Dogman or whatever, smiling with this big row of teeth and not aggressive looking, more like it was. I can't even explain. It looks stupid, goofy. Boo. I mean, that's all I can. I mean, it's unbelievable, but I saw it. So yeah, I'm thinking, man, I'm never going to tell anybody this. There's no way. I didn't tell my tenant, my roommate, whatever. None of that. Keep this to yourself. Don't. But after a while, it was like, man, I'm going to tell. So I told a friend. And then they were like, well, you should tell that on your podcast. And quite honestly, I need clicks, and maybe this is clickbait or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, I'm embarrassed to talk about it. I mean, it's stupid. And I walk by there. I used to walk by there every day. That was my path where I walked the dogs. And I continued to do it. I never saw it again. And how can you explain that? I mean, it was, yeah. I can't believe I'm really talking about it. But I've seen other shit. And in Arcadia, because I lived in Arcadia, California, which is like right near Pasadena, little, cool little town, actually. And the first thing that I saw weird there was I used to walk every morning in Arcadia Park, which is like one of the best parks I've ever been to. It's awesome. They have the happy dancers out there and these old dudes in silk with their swords and the fan dancers. And it's crazy. And I would walk in the mornings. I'd be up at like 5 a.m. and I'd get out there and it's all like, the dew and I'm the only one in the park. I love that. I was like, wow, I'm the only one in the park. I'd get up and walk, do like 3 laps. So I did this pattern where I'd go around the side of the park and then I'd cut back and then you take a right through to the back. So there's like this softball field and you go down and you take a right. So one morning I'm walking on the sidewalk, and it's a double sidewalk, so it's about maybe 10 foot wide. It's wide. It's not like a regular sidewalk. It's like a maybe 12 foot, enough for people can walk, multiple people on bikes or whatever. And I turn that right, cut the right there, and I look down, and there's this huge, wet, barefoot, like it's just a footprint. It didn't have shoes on, like you can see the toes. It was huge, and there was only one. Like it was so big that it like literally, I guess, took one step to cross that 12. And I'm looking around like there's nothing across from that. About 10, 12 feet is like this hill, and then there's a brick wall, the back of that softball field, and trees. Like where the fuck could it go? And what the fuck was it that big? It had to be. I mean, it was huge. Then I started feeling kind of funny. I'm like, so I look up, I look down, and down the path, I know this is going to sound crazy too, was this big, it looked like a water drop that went past the sidewalk. I could see through it, but then I could see the circle. And it was about 100 yards from me. And I'm the only one in the park. And this is like 5 a.m. And my instinct kicked in. Is like, get the fuck out of here, man. Run. So I basically did. I backed up, I got the hell out of the park. I mean, I literally ran into the parking lot, and then I kind of took that around the park, because I was like, what the hell? What, huh? A big wet footprint, huge, like maybe, I can't even, I wear a size 13, and it was wide too. It was just massive. So I thought, at first I was like, man, somebody's fucking with me. Somebody just like stomped that. One of the guys, there was workers in the park, these park workers that have like these little carts and everything. I thought maybe because they're always laughing, I talked to them. I thought maybe they're kind of messing with me. But then I saw that the water drop or whatever, this huge kind of circular, see-through, I don't know. And so I stopped walking in the morning. I still would walk in the park, but I would wait till like 10 or 11 when it got like a lot of people. So I would walk, and I would talk to these park, the groundskeepers or whatever. Hey, how you doing? They'd see me every day. I'd walk there every day. And one day, this out of the blue, I was like, hey, how you doing? Oh, they go, hey, there's two of them. You ever see anything weird? You walk here in the morning. You ever see anything weird in the park? I'm like, you tell me. You go first. Oh, we're just curious. What do you see? And I go, yeah, I saw this footprint. It was wet, huge. I showed him where it was at. I told him where it was at. And I saw this like circular, water drop or something. Big, huge, clear, see-through, perfect circle, man. It was a perfect circle. And they were kind of looking at each other, and they just hopped in and then took off. Didn't say hello, bye, nothing. Gone. And they never talked to me again. They saw me, they'd act like, well, you asked me. I mean, did they have me on camera? Because I know that there got to be cameras in the park. Did they see something? Did they see me there? Then they asked me, Again, this is embarrassing to talk about. I haven't I've told I've told maybe one person that, and again, they were like, man, you should say this on your podcast. You should tell this on your podcast. Again, people are going to think you're crazy. People already think I'm crazy. So it's like, I'm extra crazy, but I got to be honest. I got to be truthful. I mean, I've seen things. And the third thing I saw, so I would take the alley to the park. Now let me explain like my house. So I was on Bonita, which is closest as like First to Bonita. So Bonita, when you're outside my address, there's 3 houses on the lot. You can't even see my house when you're out front. There's a walkway on the side, and my driveway was in this alley where I parked. You had to go, if you're on Bonita, you take a right and into the alley, and my driveway was in the alley. So I used the alley, led right to the park, to Santa Anita or whatever that street is. I'd cross the street and get in the park. So I was coming back down the alley, and I was at the alley in First Street. And to my left is like the Zephyr Cafe, I think it's called, like a really cool coffee shop and real estate company. You know, there's business and there's people out. You know, it's there's the dog grooming place and the nail place and the hot pot soup place and all. You know, a lot of people out. And I'm waiting for the cars so I can cross. And I hear this. It sounded like a dog, like something being hurt. And it was above me, man, maybe 8 feet above me. There's a tree and a power line, and shit's falling. I'm like, what the? I duck down, and I can't see anything. And then this thing gets spit out, or just it was a crow or a raven or something, like one of those big black. And it was tore up, man. Its wings were all bent, and like it was fucked up, and it jumped on the power line. And all these other crows or ravens came around and like sat beside him or flying around the tree. So I look back up and I hear this like this clicking. And I'm trying like, what the fuck? You know, I can't. And then I see it. It's like, it's kind of see-through, but I don't think, have you ever seen The Predator? It's kind of close, but it was small. It was probably around maybe 2 foot tall and 8 to 10 inches wide. It wasn't that big. And it was clicking and kind of moving around, you know. What the fuck is this? And again, it looked like a predator. It was you could see through it, but it was weird looking. And this poor crow was messed up, man. I mean, it was probably gonna die. I mean, I couldn't believe it was standing up, but it was like its wings were all. I mean, it was horrible for that. So I just took off. I mean, I saw the cars like coming, go. And again, don't ever tell anybody you saw this. I mean, what the fuck? Why don't I seeing this shit? I mean, maybe it's around and people don't see it. I mean, I'm in Arcadia, California, man. I'm not in the woods. There aren't any woods. We're in a concrete jungle, basically. I mean, there's trees, but, you know, they're growing out of the concrete, you know, like a, 4x4 block, you know, open where the tree grew. I mean, I'm not in the wilderness. I'm in technically I'm in LA. I mean, I am. Arcadia's LA County. I mean, what the fuck is that? Yeah. Yeah, I saw that stuff. You know, and you think about like Huxley, you know, the doors of perception, like some people aren't going to see things, you know, or I don't know, they just don't acknowledge it, you know. Maybe it is around, maybe it is, you know. I've read a lot of ancient texts and books, and that's all they talk about, or certain things, and it's like you know, they're all over, they're there, you know. I don't know. But this thing was, about 2 foot tall, 10 inches wide. It was moving, like kind of climbing up wasn't big. It had fucked up this raven or crow. I mean, it had, and again, it must have, I couldn't see. It looked like it was spit out of nothing. Like I just saw this thing, and feathers are falling on me, and leaves, and then it's been. I mean, those poor wing. I mean, it was just. And the other crows were reacting. They were going after this thing. It was doing this like clicky kind of. Yeah. So I tucked tail and ran. What are you gonna do, huh? And again, I've told have a really good friend. They're like, man, just talk about it, man. Just tell them on your podcast. And maybe I'll break down these other stories. I might even have like a paranormal kind of series. But yeah, the Dogman was probably that and the water drop. But the Dogman was just, again, looked stupid. It looked like some kind of B movie, fake. Again, it's kind of scary. You're looking at something you don't understand, but it was grinning like a. It looked like like I mean I can't. Big eyes and this big old mouth. I mean, a huge head. Its head was like wider than its shoulders, and it didn't look like it looked fake. Like how could this fit on this? I mean, it was tall, but it wasn't like like a scary looking werewolf, like muscular. No, it was like they looked kind of stupid, dumb. And again, I wasn't the only one. I mean, some other people saw it. I mean, I wish that I would have spent more time, but the dogs are freaking out, and I wanted to get the help. I saw other people leaving. I was like, you know what? And how it started with it was a mass, like a furry, bulging mass about the size of a car, but taller than that, doing this thing. Because at first the dogs kind of lunged at it, and that's how I saw it. I looked up, saw that, and then when they went this way, I looked back. It's standing there, bobbing, smiling, or doing that kind of weird. And the teeth. I mean, you wouldn't want how wide the mouth. You wouldn't want this thing. I mean, but dumb. And it was furry. It was black fur. The fur wasn't that long. The head didn't fit its body. I mean, the thing was so huge, his head, and it was kind of skinny. Considering it wasn't like huge. Like when you hear a lot of times you hear about Bigfoots and Dogman, like the chest was 4 foot wide. No, it was it looked like and that's what I kind of thought, like maybe the junior high kids had a play or they were doing some kind of, but where would it have went? Like it's right there on the street. There's nowhere to go. Like, huh? And I could see behind it people pushing baby strollers and stuff on the other side of the street, people on the same side of the street. I mean, he was close to some people. And quite honestly, they weren't reacting as much as the people that were in front. Like, again, there was probably, the one girl filming it, probably 3 or 4 other women that were, obviously they were seeing what I'm. So yeah, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was some kind of trick. I mean, people had been in their homes for a long time. So maybe some kids, I was 12, 13, 14 before too. And you just want to, and if it was a great gag. I mean, but it looked stupid. It looked like somebody had made this in their garage or something. I mean, it wasn't, it looked alive, but it wasn't like, it just looked dumb. I mean, I can't explain how it was goofy looking. The big ass mouth, smiling. Wasn't great, not menacing or anything. It was smiling and bobbing. What? And I don't want to see. I was telling my friend, like, oh, I'd love to see. No, you were no. I don't want to see any of that stuff. I don't want to. And again, maybe the doors of perception. Maybe people have more perception than other people, and maybe these ancient texts are right. You're going to see some shit. Yeah, in Arcadia, again, it's a city, man. It isn't like it's a concrete jungle. I mean, it's not. There aren't any. For one, there's no grass around except in the park. I mean, it's just concrete and streets, and yeah, I don't know. I do not know. But yeah, again, I hate to I hate to admit this. You know, it's embarrassing, and I'm probably going to regret it. I have to delete this one. But being honest, I want to be honest and humble on my podcast. I want to be able to say things, and it's kind of like therapy to me. You know, getting on here and talking, and hopefully I can help other people out. I don't know. Maybe if you saw one, you tell me. If you have seen some stupid, silly looking furry thing, email me. If you've got a picture of it, email. I'd love to see, or that lady who filmed it. I don't know. But yeah, maybe if you're watching this and you've seen a big-headed, goofy, cryptid, email me and tell me what your experience was like. And again, if you want to support the podcast, there is in the description, there's Zelle. You can hook me up. Like, share, and subscribe. And I love y'all. Be blessed. And cheers. See you tomorrow.